On the news tonight, Senate gets legal advice to override President Muhammadu Buhari's veto. In business, the reps to oppose Ajaokuta steel plant to amend privatization law. And on the foreign scene, thousands flee eastern Ghouta in largest single-day war. Welcome to SuperScreen News at 8. I am Olamide Onwoka. The Senate has been advised to ignore the reasons given by President Muhammadu Buhari for not signing the Electoral Act 2010 amendment passed by the National Assembly. Report says, based on the advice from the Senate's legal department, the upper chamber of the National Assembly would proceed with the process to override the president's veto on the bill, which seeks to reorder the sequence of election. A new Section 25 in the Electoral Act states that the sequence of the elections will commence with the National Assembly, followed by the governorship and state houses of assembly, while presidential poll will come last. President Buhari had written to both chambers of the National Assembly on his decision to withhold assent to the amendment bill. A senior lawyer, Femi Falana, has faulted the upper chamber of the National Assembly on the move to override the president's veto on the bill, which seeks to reorder the sequence of the election. Falana, in an exclusive interview with SuperScreen, maintained that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has the right to decide on how the election timetable should go.
About 4 provisions of the Constitution have empowered the INEC to appoint days for holding the election, governorship, legislative and presidential elections. But by an amendment carried out in 2010, the National Assembly erroneously amended those 4 provisions by adding the phrase subject to the Electoral Act. In the first place, which Electoral Act are you talking about? The Electoral Act that was in place then was the 2010 Electoral Act, assuming without considering that we are now dealing with the new proposed Electoral Act. You cannot use an act of parliament to override or amend the Constitution. It's the other way around. All laws shall be read subject to the Constitution and not the other way around. In other words, since the Constitution has conferred the power exclusively on the INEC to appoint days for holding the elections, to organize the election, to conduct the election, and supervise the election, no other body in Nigeria can usurp those powers by arranging the days for the election in what they call sequence of elections.
On the legal advice given to the Senate to ignore President Muhammadu Buhari's and the move by the lawmakers to override the president's veto on the bill, Falana explains the process involved and equally gave his advice to SuperScreen.
The Constitution allows the National Assembly to override the veto of the president. But in each given situation, the legislators will be required to examine the reasons for rejection, the reasons for declining assent by the president. If the reasons are persuasive and convincing and cogent, the legislators will be inviting unnecessary litigation if they go ahead to use their numerical strength. I will advise the National Assembly members to consider the reply of the president without any sentiment, and also seek sound legal advice with a view to appreciating the need to comply with the Constitution.
Senior lawyer Femi Falana reacting there. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, says President Muhammadu Buhari has directed all ministries and parastatals to appear before the National Assembly to defend the budget. Mustafa, who disclosed this to journalists at the end of a meeting President Buhari had with the leaders of the National Assembly at Abuja, said the President and the lawmakers' update on security, economy, job creation, processes in the National Assembly, especially with regards to the budget and the need to conclude on it. The President of the Senate also confirmed the situation to the journalist. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has withdrawn corruption charges against former Oyo State Head of Service Kudirat Adeleke and 11 others arraigned for alleged 5.6 billion naira pension scam. The Commission announced its intention to discontinue the suit before Justice Lani Akintola of Oyo State High Court in Ibadan. The EFCC's counsel, Simon Ibekute, informed the court that the Commission wants the case to be discontinued, as contained in notice of discontinuance dated February 6th and filed on February 9th. The case was adjourned by Akintola till May 4 to enable EFCC's counsel serve notice of discontinuance on the issue to the defendants. And now the Court of Appeal in Abuja has dismissed an appeal by Senator Dino Melaye against a judgment of the Federal High Court confirming the power of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to commence a recall process without first referring to him. In a judgment, a three-man panel of the appeal court held that the Federal High Court lacked the jurisdiction to have heard Melaye's suit current the recall process by INEC. Shortly after INEC released its order of procedure for Melaye's recall process late last year, Justice John Shoho of the Federal High Court granted an expert order in favor of Melaye, stopping INEC from carrying through the process. Justice Nnamdi Dingba, who determined the fundamental rights suit by Melaye in which he claimed to have been denied fair hearing, said INEC could conduct the recall process without hearing from Melaye. Dingba, however, ordered the INEC to provide Melaye with the petition for his recall written by some electorate in his Kogi West senatorial constituency to enable him familiarize himself with issues raised against him in the petition. 800 members of the All Progressives Congress, the APC in Kwara State, has defected to the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP. The chairman of the PDP in the state, Iola Oyedepo, received the defectors in Ilorin during the visit of the executive members of the party in the North Central Zone. Hanafi Alabere, who led the defectors from Alanamu Ward in Ilorin West local government, said they were fed up with the APC. Oyedepo, in his remarks, told the visiting zonal executives that no enabled members of the party had defected to the APC since 2015. He described the defection of Alabere and his colleagues as a pointer to the popularity of PDP in this state. He appealed to the members to continue to work for the progress of the party through sustained membership drive in the state. A former Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Samuel Afolayan, says the efforts of the federal and state governments to ensure national food sufficiency, employment generation, industrialization and diversification of the economy may become fruitless if the menace of destruction of farmlands and attack by farmers is not curtailed. Afolayan said the herders struck again, attacking a special royal farm at Oboile in Ekiti local government area of Kwara State and destroyed 121 hectares of his 500-hectare farmland. He said out of his 500-hectare farm, the herders burned 67 hectares of cassava worth 57 million naira, 50 hectares of palm trees and 4 hectares of sweet corn ready for harvest valued at 2.5 million naira. Nigerian women has been challenged on the need to participate more on politics in the country. This challenge was given at the Oduduwa Women's Council Forum to celebrate the 2018 International Women's Day.
Still basking in the euphoria of the 2018 International Women's Day, this group of women under the aegis of Oduduwa Women Council enlightened women on the importance of participating in politics.
Priority in addressing gender inequality, gender equity, gender disparity is renewed commitment to their child. Once you educate the child, get child in today's economic arrangement, the driver of wealth creation is essentially cerebral.
As women, we are more spiritual, we are more committed. Men are committed. I'm saying our men are not committed. But you know, a mother would have a kind of feeling. It pictures a mother when the child is crying. So that is the spirit a woman would apply if she's in a leadership position. So that is why we need to encourage more women to participate and partake in politics. If we identify a lady that has potentials, let us invest in them, push, stop backbiting, unite our force to push our other women forward. Then we will get there.
While some participants shed light on the advantages of a woman being relevant in politics, President of the group, who is also a former Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development in Lagos State, Simi Akindele Odumbaku, speaks on the rationale behind the theme Press for Progress, Women Inclusion in Leadership, Decision-Making and Political Participation.
There is very low level of inclusion of women in governance, even in leadership. Being an International Women's Day period, you know, March is our month, I decided that it was important that we should press for progress and progress in women inclusion, leadership and political participation. We're here, advocacy, not just to celebrate, but to inform our women that they need to come out. They need to be a part of it. They need to get involved. The time is now. Nobody's going to come call you in your house to come out and play politics. Nobody's going to say that you should be relevant in your community. You have to make yourself relevant. You have to make yourself known. You have to make yourself seen. You must make yourself counted.
The Oduduwa Women Council was set up to reawaken the consciousness of the Yoruba women to take their rightful place amongst other Nigerian women and the world at large.
Coming up on SuperScreen News at 8, reps oppose Ajaokuta steel plant to amend privatization law. These and many more coming your way after this break.
When you wake up in the morning, before you start your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. For work and for play, for a great start to your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
We always start our day with a nourishing Kellogg's breakfast, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. Kellogg's makes a great tasting breakfast for all of us. So in our family, breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
So I eat Kellogg's for breakfast. It keeps me full of energy. It's tasty and nutritious. School works, it's so easy. Kellogg's every day. Breakfast time is Kellogg's time. Breakfast is Kellogg's.
So give your family a tasty, nutritious breakfast of Kellogg's today. Now also available at just 15 naira.
Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Welcome back, and now for some business stories. The House of Representatives has gone a step further in its opposition to the concession of the Ajaokuta steel plant by proposing to amend the Privatization Act. It also resolved that, having passed a vote of no confidence in the Minister of Mines and Steel, Kayode Fayemi, the House would no longer accord him the recognition of addressing him as an honorable minister. The lawmakers also said in other claims, passing the vote of no confidence on the minister is enough grounds for the president to sack him. In the resolution in Abuja, the House observed that Fayemi's decision to engage PricewaterhouseCoopers to conduct a technical audit on the ASE meant he has been bent on the firm's concession. The House proposed to amend the Privatization Act immediately by expunging the ASE from the list of public assets in the schedule that could be privatized or given to private investors as concession by the federal government. The Nigerian Heart Foundation, NHF, has endorsed 3 Crowns milk as healthy for consumption. The NHF endorsement coincides with the 30th anniversary of Friesland Campina Wamco, the producers of pig milk and 3 Crowns milk.
Friesland Campina Wamco, producers of pig milk and 3 Crowns milk, celebrates its 30th anniversary on March 15, 2018, with the Nigerian Heart Foundation, NHF, endorsing its product 3 Crowns milk as being healthy for consumption. This is coming on the heels of the partnership entered into by both parties.
This is to unveil the endorsement of Nigeria Heart Foundation to our brand 3 Crowns. And this is a very important milestone for us because it shows the role that the brand 3 Crowns plays in healthy living to Nigerians. And the endorsement of Nigerian Heart Foundation is very important because it then gives to the consumers the confidence, and it also gives us, to us as a company, the total confidence that what we are doing in providing healthy nutrition, which is good for the heart, is to Nigerians.
Today we're celebrating two remarkable events. The endorsement of 3 Crowns milk by the Nigerian Heart Foundation, and also we're 30 years this year, so we're also celebrating our 30th anniversary to today's event. So for us, it's very important because it's like a 2-in-1 celebration and a partnership. We see the endorsement as a critical lever, a signal of trust to make Nigerians know that yes, 3 Crowns has always preached health with consumers, has always told people to keep fit and work out and be happy so that they are healthy. So this is a remarkable, very remarkable event for us.
Speaking of the rationale behind the endorsement of the product, the Nigeria Heart Foundation say the local extra in the 3 Crowns milk will help fight cardiovascular and heart diseases, a view corroborated by other food nutritionists.
The foundation has thought wisely. This partnership with the Heart Foundation is not the first. We've done so with many other products. But we're always looking for heart-friendly foods in order to combat vascular diseases in this our community. So it's very important to promote healthy products like this and commend them to the general public, not just to the literate public. If there's a way of letting the market woman even know the dangers exposed to.
The 3 Crowns is the first milk that the Nigerian Heart Foundation is endorsing. I'm actually a director of the nutrition group, the Nigerian Heart Foundation, and we did what we did because we found that the milk has very high concentration of what we call good fat. That is polyunsaturated fat, which is the ideal fat for the human body. It has very low cholesterol, it has vitamins and minerals, and so it's a very good product.
The occasion today is to mark the Heart Check logo presentation to 3 Crowns milk. And that initiative of the Nigerian Heart Foundation is to encourage manufacturers of foods to present their products in a way that is heart-friendly. That is the components of the whatever they are selling, either food or drinks, in terms of the fat content, the cholesterol content, the sugar content, the salt content. So that is the main initiative, and through that, to create awareness amongst the public about the importance of eating heart-healthy food.
This product, according to the producers, is made to encourage healthy eating and the fitness amongst Nigerians.
It's positioned for people who are very health conscious about their bodies, about their health and what they eat. Not to say every other milk in the market is not good, but you have a specially formulated milk that is also good for everyone, but also for people who really want to be very cautious. Not to mean everybody who is not health conscious can take it. It can be used by everybody. But what we say is, as a 3 Crowns band, we preach and we encourage healthy eating and working out.
All present were made to undergo 30 minutes of exercise. Adenike Owoye Ajiboye, SuperScreen News.
Still ahead on SuperScreen News at 8. Thousands flee Eastern Ghouta in largest single-day war. These and more other stories coming your way on SuperScreen News at 8. Stay with us.